Intercepts is what we're doing. When it says solve, in your head you should say I need the x-intercepts. That's what solving means. So factors of -8 that add to -2.
Oh, negative 6 and 4.
It involves 4 and 2. One of them has to be negative. Which one? If I do -2 and 4, I'm going to get a positive 2.
Negative 4 and 2.
-4 and 2. So x minus 4 and x plus 2. Okay. Can I graph those now? What is the x-intercept for this one? Positive 4. And this one? -2. So let's plot those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and -2. Oh, wait a minute. You already know that this parabola hits the x-axis what? Twice. So that means it's going to have how many solutions? 2. It's those two things right there. Now, let's take it a little further. Let's find the vertex.
Okay.
Yes. I need the axis of symmetry to find the vertex, don't I? So can I just look and figure out halfway here? It's, yeah, go in 3, go over 3. It would be where x equals 1. If you don't see that, you can do this little thing, right, where you add them and divide them by 2. And x equals 2 over 2. X equals 1. So there's my axis of symmetry. If you're not sure just by the graph, you can always do that. Find the halfway point. Now, yeah, I need to find my vertex, and it's an ordered pair, and the x-coordinate is 1, correct? So you can plug it in anywhere. We'll just plug it into this one. It's fine. -1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 8.
1 plus 2
Careful. What's 1 squared?
1.
Times a negative.
-1.
-1 plus 2.
1.
1 plus 8.
9.
9. This equals 9. So that goes in my vertex there. So over 1, up 9. I think that's about here. I'm not going to count exactly. And that means it opens what?
Down.
Down, as it should. Shouldn't it open down?
Yeah, because there's a negative.
Correct, because this is negative. It should open down. So we would say for this problem, if it says solve, we would say it has 2 solutions. 2 solutions, and where are those solutions?
On the x-axis.
Yeah, 4, 0, and -2, 0. It's just naming, basically it's graphing and then naming your solutions, if there are any. Okay, and how many?
Yes.
Does that make sense? All right, let's do one more. Let's see what happens when we only have one solution. We have this right here. We've got to put it in standard form, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. You have to set it equal to 0. I brought that 4 over. Factor it. X and x. Factors of +4 that add to -4.
Right now.
Well, it is 2 and 2, but is it positive? It has to be negative. If you look at it like this, okay, factors of +4, -2 times -2 gives me +4, doesn't it? But it adds to -4, correct? So, inside here, I have this. Oh, what do you notice? They're the same. So yeah, we could write that, or we could just say, I know what I'm looking for is the x-intercept, and this is going to be x equals 2, right? They're the same. So you only really have one x-intercept. Where would that be at? 2.
2 to the right of 0.
These lines are really
When that happens, this is what it looks like. When that happens, I don't know how much I want to tell you. I don't want to confuse you. When that happens, the axis of symmetry goes through that. Let's just say that. When that happens, the axis of symmetry goes through it.
What's the
It
very
just does.
complex version? That's not what-
I just didn't know if you needed to know that or not, but I guess we can. So, is this going to open up or down? So we can really, at this point, just sketch it. We don't need any other points. You could, if you wanted to. You could pick an x value, plug it in, find another point, right? But the goal here, hey, what's the goal? The goal is to solve. Did we solve it? We found out where it hits the x-axis. So my solution is x equals 2, and there's only one solution here. Okay, let's do one more and see what happens here. There's a couple on the back, but all right. I still have to get this equal to standard form, so I'm going to subtract 2x and stick it in the middle, because that's where it would sit, right? It would stick it in the middle. X squared minus 2x plus 8 equals 0. Just write it in the right order. That's standard form. That's why I put it in the middle. Okay, are you ready? Let's see what happens here. Factors of 8 that add to negative 2.
Oh, no. No.
Let's try. So if I do negative 4 and positive 2, what do they multiply together to be?
Negative.
That's not what we have. So what if we did this? Would that work? No. What if we did 8 and negative 1? Does that work? What if we did 1 and negative 8? That's all the factors of 8. Are there any factors that work here? No. So that means there are no factors. You can't do it. But just to be sure, let's do the axis of symmetry and the vertex to see where it is, okay? So I'm going to do a little bit of a square here. Axis of symmetry would be x equals negative b. What's my b?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So it's actually going to be positive 2 over 2a. What's my a?
1.
So my axis of symmetry is 1. So let's plot that. Then let's find the vertex. So we know the vertex is going to have an x-coordinate of 1. So let's plug that into the equation. One squared minus 2 times 1 plus 8. What's 1 squared? Minus 2
Negative 1.
plus 7, or plus 8. 7. So it's way up here. It's right here somewhere. Now, here's the thing. Does our parabola open up or down? Yeah, we do. So that means it's going to be something like that, which means it does not ever hit the x-axis. So we were right. Okay? All right, we're not doing the whole back. We're just going to do one more problem. Okay.
No, f of x, why is f of x show up in
What is the difference between f of x and y? Nothing.
It shows x.
Nothing. Zach. Question?
Yeah, I know.
Did you follow me here? Okay, and did you figure out that we don't have any factors that would work for this particular equation? Nothing that multiplies to 8 that adds to negative 2. Okay, but just to be sure, I decided to find the axis of symmetry using my formula, which I know to be this. So I plugged that in, I found out the axis of symmetry is x equals 1. Graphed that. If that's 1, that means the x-coordinate of my vertex is 1. And I plugged 1 into my equation to find out what y is. And then that's my vertex. And since I know that A is positive, it's going to open up, which means this graph never hits the x-axis, so there's no solution. Actually, we should write that, you guys. No solution right here. That's what the question is. No solution. Okay, backside, here we go. Example 4, find the zeros. Oh,
Oh, you're
the zeros aren't any different. It's just another word for what we've been doing. Zeros means x-intercepts. It is. Just stay with me and I'll tell you. It also means find the roots. It's the same thing. Or find the solutions. All of that means the same thing.
Which one are you gonna say?
You'll see all of them. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, look. We have f of x, right? If we're finding the zeros, that means our output to the function has to be 0. That's what it means. That just means do this right here. If it says find the zeros, you substitute f of x with 0. That's it. And then we do the problem. So 0, I'm going to divide out a -1 because I don't like that negative there. What's next? Factor. Factor. 0 equals -1. Yeah, it is.
Oh, Mom.
Okay. Stay with me. Factors of 7 that add to 8.
Oh, 7 times.
7 and 1, yeah. 7 and 1. So plus 7 plus 1. Okay. Let's find the x-intercepts. X equals -7 and x equals -1. Now stop a second. What is it asking us to do? Find the zeros. Did we do that? Yes, we did, but we can just plot it real quick on the graph.
All it asks for is us to find the zero.
Yep, let's plot it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere there. It's really hard to see. Does this open up or down? So you can just kind of sketch it. Sort of, you know, you could be more particular. We could find the axis of symmetry and we could find the vertex, but it's not asking us to do that. These are the zeros right here.
I never.
Okay,
Is it a worksheet?
it is a worksheet.
Yes.